Hi, I'm here with Oliver. Oliver, who has a few secrets which you don't normally see in Goa. Now that sounds very suggestive, Oliver, because we are talking about 450 years of Portuguese rule, plus one, 451. And we talk about Luso cuisine. Normally, what we see in a lot of restaurants are the type of spiced versions like your sorpotel, your vindaloo, etc., which do trace back to the Portuguese. But yet, in your kitchen, there are some very interesting specialities which we don't see anywhere else. Tell me, supposing we were sitting on a balcony like this in the olden days and somebody dropped it, what was the tradition like?
So yeah, in those days, the balcony was the hub of, like, should I say, gossip and gozal, etc. And this was the place, and the food was an integral part, food and drink, etc. And I mean, if you come during tea time, then obviously there was tea. But in the summers or in the afternoons when tea would not be the appropriate drink, the staple was orshat at that time.
Wow, that's something interesting.
Yes.
So now, with your thought process, while I'm still sipping this, what would be the right snack to munch on?
If you're going with orshat, we will stick to something which came to us from the Portuguese, which is still had in Portugal, etc. I've got a perfect fix for you.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of introduce the fofos.
Fofos. Oh, I'm going to pronounce it now. Fofos.
Fofos.
It's very interesting because in the Portuguese language, what I've realized, there's such a lot of musical overtones. Yeah, it's not, I've heard it spelled F-O-F-O-S, but Fofos. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Waiting for it, really.
Super. And I think it goes well with this because, I mean, it's something that the Portuguese gave us.
Let's try it. Let's try.
Fofos.
Wow. What a spring when you brought it.
There you are.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
what I want you to notice before you eat are certain uniquenesses of this. One is the shape. And you could guess how it's made. It's not, people call it the Goa Portuguese croquet or like a fish croquet or the bacalhau croquet.
But the croquets are very distinctive and cylindrical.
This isn't, because, and this is a very classic Fofos shape. It's made by turning it over, like the batter, turning it over 2 spoons.
Oh, so basically it's a very fluid batter, semi-fluid.
Semi-fluid.
Which are shaped with spoons.
And so that's one, the shape. 2 is, it's browned slightly more than normal.
Okay.
So it's not like a golden brown, it's slightly darker brown, and that's like the classic way of doing it. And when you hold it in your hand, you could pick up one, and you would know the difference. It's going to be light, and when you bite into it, it's going to be fluffy. In Portuguese, fofos means that. It means cute, it means pillowy, it means like fluffy.
Just look at the texture.
It's quite unlike like a regular croquet.
Okay, the texture is very interesting. It's much more finer than what you see in a croquet, and it's airy and porous.
Yes.
Yeah. Flavors also are very distinctive. What makes it different? I know it's fish, but what makes it different from the meat croquets?
So this one, because it's airy, because you have egg going in it. So you beat an egg, that aerates the entire croquet, and that's why it's Fofos, because it has to be fluffy.
Really interesting. You don't find it in many.
You don't. And places. You know, in Goa you have almonds and almonas, but that is heavier.
That is more like a patty.
Yes, and that's more heavier, and it
like
does not have
cake.
Egg. Yes,
fish cake.
Yeah.
And this is
light.
This is like bite size. You just put it. Interesting way to appetizers or a starter, and as he said, it goes beautifully with the.
It's very light and.
Orshat.
Yeah, it's very light, and another uniqueness is that it doesn't get served with any accompanying sauce, etc.
Very interesting. Very interesting. No sauce required. It's just off the plate. I really wonder if anybody has heard about these dishes all around.
And yeah, and that's the sad part, right? I mean, we've been handed over these dishes for so many years, and we can't drop the ball at our
We
generation.
don't lose it.
Right.
The Balkans are still there in many of the
Absolutely.
places. Yes, we relax, but please take time off and no relaxation to work on the Fofos and the Orshat. Cheers.
Cheers.